Hi, I'm David Mack. I'm the writer and artist of Kabuki. That's probably what I'm most known for, is creating Kabuki and also writing and doing art for Daredevil for a few storylines on Daredevil. Well, for one thing, it's always interesting for me to hear feedback of readers of what they think of the stories and the books. You spend so much time in your own little world, agonizing over every little storytelling detail of how you're arranging things in the book. It's always interesting to see what people get out of it and how they react to it. So I enjoy that aspect of it. And then another aspect of it is just doing a creator-owned book. Like Kabuki, it's kind of up to me to introduce the book to new people. So conventions are very helpful in that people will come by and they'll see books and they'll say that they've heard of the book, or they have some of them but they haven't been able to find all the volumes or something like that, and they'll pick them up here or ask questions about it. So I'm happy to discuss that with them and answer their questions as well. I'm really enjoying it so far. I got here yesterday, Friday. It's been a pretty good show. Last week I was at the MoCA show in New York, the Museum of Cartoon and Comic Art, which is a very different vibe of a show. It's more almost exclusively indie artists, and it has a little bit more of like an artistic and literary vibe to it, whereas this is a much more massive show and more of like a popular culture scale show, which is fine too. I enjoy both of those. Well, I do love working with Marvel Comics on collaborative things, but by the same token, I love doing something where I do just about every aspect of it. I like working both ways. With Kabuki, it's really fun because just from idea to execution, I'm just doing everything my own way, kind of in my own vacuum, figuring things out and problem solving on my own, with the character. And comics are a fascinating medium to be able to have that kind of autonomy. One of the few mediums where that's really possible, where one person from beginning to end is able to make something. At the other time, I love the collaborative aspect of comics too. I love the idea of working at Marvel Comics or with a creative team that, when I'm writing and then another artist, I see their interpretation of the story. And in fact, like when I'm writing Daredevil, you're also kind of collaborating with the history of the Daredevil, of the character, what other creators have brought to the character before you, and you want to be respectful to that rich history that the character has, but you also want to feel like you're adding something new to it as well. The best thing about working in comics, well, for me, comics are kind of like a medium that I can do anything in. Growing up, I always made things in one way or another, whether I was writing stories or telling stories or acting them out or making things three-dimensionally or two-dimensionally. For me, once I started doing comics, I feel like I didn't have to choose any other medium or specialize in one thing or another. I felt like in the medium of comics, it unified and integrated any other medium that I enjoyed, and I could funnel that directly into my comic book work, which gives me, great liberty as a storyteller. As a writer, I can then pick and choose a different art style or look for each story. So visually, each story has a unique tone. Just as I try to write an individual tone